What's up everyone, V here, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Marvel Legends Infinity Ultron Build-A-Figure Wave, Moonknight. And this boy right here has been a long time coming. Second I saw that Moonknight show, I absolutely wanted a figure from it. If you can't tell by my account name, I like Moonknight. I haven't read much of the comics, but I really want to, because I love his design. I think he's such a fascinating character, and he was probably the show that I was the most anticipated to see, and it's my favorite MCU show. I just loved it so much, and second I saw it, I needed a figure from it, and when they announced this guy, I saw the 3D render, I was like, oh my god, that looks amazing, and then I saw March 2023, and I wanted to die, because, oh, that's rough. Having to wait like basically an entire year after it dropped to get the figure, and just waiting and waiting and praying like those first couple waves that it would drop way earlier than the actual date. And I just kept waiting, and then I saw people actually getting it, except no websites were having him in stock. And then finally I checked Amazon one day and he was in stock, and I snagged him up, and it's so cool. And it didn't matter because like a week later I went to Target, and basically the whole wave was there. I've seen the whole wave, and there are a bunch of Moonknights there. I actually own a couple from the wave already. Oh, next reviews. Oh, also got another spicy boy here. But yeah, it's been a long time coming for this guy, and yeah, it definitely lives up. Not gonna lie, it's a really great figure. But yeah, before we get into this beautiful boy, we'll check out the box. So, I think this is like one of the last waves before it, right? Pretty sure this is one of the last, it's definitely, I think, the last MCU wave before they go, non-window. We got Moonknight, Disney Plus, Hasbro. Is it even in focus? Marvel Legends, Moonknight Lego, Infinity Ultron, 4+. Some really nice artwork of Moonknight on both sides. On the back, really nice artwork up there. I'm going to attempt to read this bio. Clad in the ceremonial armor of Khonshu's chosen warriors throughout the centuries, Mark Spector is Moonknight, sworn to obey Khonshu and deliver his vengeance accordingly. Or as he said it, he really put some Batman voice into it when he said it in the show. There's a bunch of cat hair on this thing, because I own a cat. And Infinity Ultron, really hyped for that. And rest of the figures, Mr. Knight. When I eventually get him, I'll explain my custom idea, which would probably make him way better, and it doesn't really cost that much. Miss Marvel, She-Hulk, who I have, Kate Bishop, who I have, Hawkeye, and Sharon Carter, who I don't really care for. I care for Hawkeye, I don't care for Sharon Carter. But, you gotta get Ultron somehow. And bringing in this holy specimen, it truly feels like he was sent down by the gods. But before we get into him, that sounded gay. Let's get into his accessories. On him, in package, are 2 open hands, but I decided to just keep one fist, one open hand, but he does come with multiple open hands, and if it would focus, yeah, it's got a lot of nice wrap detail on that, and then he has a fist, because he is the fist of Khonshu. He's gonna need to be throwing hands every 5 seconds. I mean, he's got beef with what, Dracula? All them centuries, getting that money from him, bro. Had to get that money somehow. I think he's pulling up with, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Moonknight does seem like a guy who, he wouldn't. He wouldn't be a guy to use a gun. He would just punch his way throughout an entire room of men. And, yeah. But he does have a weapon. It's his, what are they called? Moonerangs? But yeah, they are really big. Hold on, hold on. Okay, I wanted to get out compared to a Moonerang I do have, which is from the comic one. And yeah, these are significantly bigger. They got not a lice, not a lice, a lot of nice detail. Got some like hieroglyphs there, and there's two of them, but they come apart. And you can combine them, and it just slides right into his hand, and he can go freaking stab a bunch of jackals and stuff like that. Except if you want to have like a cool look of it, looking like he's pulling it out of his chest, it's not really gonna work because that's just a tad bit bigger than what it would. You can't even use this. But yeah, it's cool. You mean he's got to have his Moonerangs, bro. He's chucking them brothers left and right. He's got to get them random bullshit go. You know what I mean? You can probably recreate that. Yeah, because he has two open hands. I love the Moonknight memes, by the way. They're so god tier. But yeah, let's take a quick look at this figure, because for the most part, it's pretty accurate, except for the head. Head holds the most inaccuracies. I mean, it still looks really good. The nice wraps and everything. There's should be a wrap that comes up and down, and the hood should flail out a lot more. But I prefer this kind of look of where it comes down. I don't really like it bowing out so much, but I wish they put a little bit more emphasis on that moon thingy. A little mold line there, but a lot of great sculpting, and I think his eyes are like printed in there. And then coming to the chest, you just got a bunch of nice wraps. I love how they gave him a very mummy aesthetic. I just also absolutely love Egyptian related things ever since I was little, so obviously I'm gonna love Moonknight. You got the crescent in there with a lot of nice gold, some silver, more hieroglyphs throughout, all that nice wrap detailing, little crescent moon there, all that nice detailing. It's just a really well sculpted figure, except for the cape. We'll get to the cape. And yeah, I think this middle thing's a separate piece, because every time I move it up, it kind of like gaps, and it gaps a bit on there. But it is what it is. And he got his belt with a little crescent there. Some gold coming around. The weird cloth thingy dingies. And then got all them nice hieroglyphs painted oddly, phenomenally well. Like, for like a mainline selling figure type guy. The word's not coming to me. Mass release product. Jesus Christ. It's painted really well. So, you'd be, because sometimes Hasbro, they be goofing the paint, so it's nice to see that looks great. And you come down to the kneecaps, some nice little kneecap moonerang thing, not moonerangs, kneecap crescents. You come down to his boots, even them, they got some nice wraps coming through the middle, because, he's got the mummy aesthetic, and on the back, he's even got some nice detailing. I take the cape off, but his dumbbell joint is so thin, and I live in fear after that Spider-Man that the heads are gonna snap off. So yeah, but looking at the cape, I hate that it curves forward, because when you want to grab it like this, it gets in the way. Because it comes down really nicely here. Let me just zoom out all the way. But then it just bows forward for some reason there, and I don't really care for that. I mean, the sculpting's nice, and it's got a slight texture. And a slight more gray look to match the hood. Also, they painted it inside the hood. That's really nice. But yeah, also gray in there. I have this design memorized, because if you go follow my Instagram MoonknightXO, you'll see, if you scroll through it a lot, that I made a lot of drawings for Moonknight. And I drew this design a lot, so I really understand the details of this design, and that's why I love this design so much. I can't wait to see it again. If they do change it a bit, it'd be cool to see the more this look with more black introduced in it. Yeah, take a drink of my water real quick. Got a Hulk water bottle, because I also love Hulk. When are we ever gonna get an endgame Hulk? I'm not talking shirtless. I'm talking full tech suit, bro. And an abomination. I'll get more into that on the She-Hulk review. But articulation, he's got some pretty nice articulation. He can look not that great forward, but not that great back, up. Oh, also, keep in mind, if my voice sounds weird, it's because I'm sick. I'm just feeling good enough to make a video, so if I'm still a little out of it, though. A little bit of bob, rotates, arm moves out. Oh, really far, but one thing people have mentioned is that when you're articulating this arm, like, it'll gap. And sadly, it's like the one flaw I found of this figure. There's some gapping between some of the articulation joints, like here, here, and then kind of here. So yeah, I'd be a little careful, but still. Rotates, bicep swivel, double jointed elbow, which was tight as hell out of the box. I had to heat it up, and I never do that. So, but once you get it working, it's nice. Hinge in and out, rotates, up and down for the open hand. Let's get to the diaphragm joint, and what's that? A diaphragm joint that actually kind of moves forward? I mean, considering the design, it moves farther forward than this guy. I know, right? Also, still love this figure, though. It's my... Oh, I love it so much. Bobs side to side, rotates... Kicks forward pretty far, especially considering there's a lot of like rubbery stuff in front of it. Can't really kick back, and it's mostly because of this. You don't got a fat knee back there. Look at how flat that is. Sorry, Oscar, but you don't got cake. Can do the splits though, but can't really do much with that considering the cape. Thigh rotation, double jointed knee, but like I said, the cape gets in the way. I still prefer plastic over cloth just because cloth never sits right on this scale, in my opinion, unless you put a wire in it, but they don't put a wire in it. Gotta get them, like, not third party, gotta get them custom capes. Then gotta up and down, probably the wrong directions, and then, you know what I mean? So, yeah. Really great figure, honestly. Sculpt work, paint work, articulation. It's no, not to spoil the top 10 figures of the year, but he's probably going to be number one unless I wake up Christmas Day and there's a Hot Toys in front of me like I did last year. I got a Hot Toys Thanos sitting right over there, right there. I think I mentioned it before. I also have a Hot Toys Iron Man. I'd kill for Hot Toys Moonknight. For comparisons... Here he is, next to Black Series, and next to Transformer. Also, Rise of Beast trailer looked kind of cool, but also had a lot of questionable things about it. A little worried about that movie, not gonna lie, but still excited. Take them brothers away. Here he is next to a Halo figure. Also, my previous review, go check that baby out. Well, he's got the weird legs. And here he is next to the Batman, because, you know, people compare Moon Knight and Batman like they're the same person. I mean, in the comics, Mark Spector is like a rich man, right? Or was it Stephen Grant who was rich? No, it's Stephen who was rich. My bad. Mark's the mercenary. But yeah, Stephen Grant's the rich guy, right? So I guess it's kind of fair, but, you know, one's, you know, consumed by a like the avatar of a god, and then this guy basically is, but you know. And yeah, now let's get to the fun comparisons. Here he is next to those other people from the Wave, my wife Haley Steinfeld and She-Hulk. Both great figures. That She-Hulk figure is amazing. If you don't care for the show, I'd still recommend that figure because, like, my god, they weren't lying when they said that figure is amazing. Here he is next to that Spider-Man just because he's next to me. And finally, here is Moon Knight next to Moon Knight. Oh, this guy's got some wonky legs. And yeah, I'm probably not gonna buy that newer Moon Knight because why would I? But I do want to buy every Moon Knight action figure, so I might, you know. And not to make a bad joke, but it literally is day and night. I'll see myself out. So, that's about it, you know? There's not much to it, you know? He doesn't come with a grappling hook, you know? You know the grappling hook he used for, like, 1 second out of nowhere in the finale? Side note, I do think it should have had one more episode. I feel like they had to cram a little bit too much in the finale, and I feel like it would have really benefited from 7 episodes, but no. During that time, Marvel really, really liked that 6 episode thing. I didn't. But that being said, Moon Knight's still my favorite of the Marvel shows and one of my favorite shows of all time. For superheroes. I just love Moon Knight. I can't wait for his next appearance in something, please. Season 2, maybe? Please, movie? Please, have him be in Secret Wars or Kang Invasion? Please, just do something with my baby boy. Let's give him one of the rangs, you know? No, let's give him the thick one. I don't even think if this hits you, it'd kill you, because that's way too thick to, like, stab someone. But, it can get him into, like, a cool pose, looking like he's about to beat the hell out of Dracula for his money, you know? Oh, well, he tried. He really thought Dracula was in front of him, about to stab the hell out of him. But it isn't really a stake, so, you know. Now, let's get him out the light a bit, you know. He's a man of the night, man of the moon. So, do I recommend this figure? Yeah, it's really fun. I've been messing with him for the past week and a half, and I still love it so much. It's truly amazing. It's a really great figure. Oh yeah, do I have a MCU Spider-Man anywhere near me? Oh yeah, you can recreate that scene where he's just like, "Hey, Mark, I'm Jake. Jake, listen. Oops, Steven now. Okay, Steven. Mark again." Or, you know, one of the many beautiful scenes. I really hope these two interact in the MCU. That'd be cool. Let's give him a little thingy-dingy. Yeah, definitely recommend this figure. It's really great. And, yeah, oh, he can't reach far enough to give him a little... But, yeah, school photo looking thing here. But, yeah, definitely pick it up. It's a great figure. Like, subscribe, check out my previous reviews. Follow me on Instagram, MoonNightXO. I don't know what's going on in there anymore. I do post weekend reels almost every day. I'm getting a little lazy. And, some Marvel. And I post some of my Marvel opinions on there. And drawings and stuff. So, yeah, my next review will probably be on Kate Bishop, since that's the one that I got after Moon Knight. You know, keep it linear. And then She-Hulk, and then Spidey. And then by then we'll have Christmas, and I'll have probably the rest of the wave. So, yeah, hope you have a delectable day. And, trying to think of a Moon Knight-y outro. I don't know. Don't lend money to, Dracula. And, peace out. I don't know. I did it the wrong way. I meant to do it like this, but I did it with me, because, you know, I can't ever do a good outro. But, peace. Screw Spider-Man.